Hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing great today. We have Fowler here with us today, and we have Winston behind us today to join us for our story. Today, we are going to read such a fun and silly story. We are going to look at a story today called Norman the Slug with the Silly Shell. Now, let's think about, do you know what a slug is? Do you know what slugs are? Sometimes we can find slugs in gardens, and if we go outside and explore through the woods, if you lift up rocks, sometimes you might find a slug underneath a rock. They like to be in wet, cooler areas. So we're going to be reading this story today, and while we are reading this story today, I want you to think about the author's purpose. And remember that the author's purpose is the reason why the author wrote this story. And I'm trying to think, what was that? Do you remember, Fowler? How do we remember author's purpose? Is it ice cream? Is it cake? Oh, yes, that's right. It's pie. It's pie. So we can remember author's purpose by remembering if the author wants to persuade us, inform us, or to entertain us. Remember that persuade means to get you to try something new. Inform means to teach you about something. And entertain means to make you laugh or to enjoy the story. So I want you to be thinking about the author's purpose while we're reading today. Also, I want you to be thinking about if this book is fiction or nonfiction. Remember, fiction means fake and nonfiction means that it is real. Y'all are so smart. And today we're going to also look at maybe if Norman might have a problem. We're going to talk about a little bit more with problem and solution. Remember that a problem is when something goes wrong in the story, and the solution is how the problem is fixed. I hope you all enjoy. Let's get started. Norman the Slug with the Silly Shell. Norman the Slug thought snails were great. Wow, said Norman. Look at them. They're amazing. But unfortunately, the snails didn't think Norman was great. Whee! Crash! Oh, goodness. So do we notice here that slugs and snails are different? The slug does not have a what? Does not have a shell, and a snail has a shell. Norman, you silly slug, they cried. You've spoiled our fun. This only works if you've got a shell. Norman felt left out. Sadly, he sulked off into the moonlight. Notice how do you think Norman is feeling? We can look in our text and see that he felt left out and that he sulked. If he is sulking, that means it's another word for if he is kind of whining or whimpering or maybe crying a little bit. If only I had a shell of my own, he sighed, looking at his reflection. And that's when he had an idea. Maybe I could have a shell after all, he thought. I wonder, what do you predict that Norman is going to do? Remember, as good readers, we always make predictions while we're reading. What do you predict that Norman's going to do next? Let's find out. But finding a shell was not as easy as it seemed. One was too bouncy, one was too noisy, and one was already taken. Norman needed time to think. Ta-da! A shell! It was perfect. Norman could never been happier. He could join the snails at last. What do you think about Norman's choice of a shell? It sure is making me hungry. But the bird was more interested in Norman's silly shell. It looked delicious. Norman was being carried up, and away, higher and higher into the sky. What could he do? Uh-oh, has Norman got himself into a problem? Has something gone wrong in the story? What is Norman's problem right now? That's right, he's being taken away by this bird. Norman did the only thing a slug could do. He made slime, lots and lots of it. With a slither and a slother, a slip and a slide, Norman was free. Did Norman solve his problem? How did he solve his problem? What did he create? But he was falling faster and faster and faster until plonk! Norman, are you okay? Asked the snails. Wow, said Norman. That was great. I love flying. If only I had wings. Uh-oh, let's read that sentence again. If only I had wings. What do you predict that Norman is going to do next? Ta-da! Oh my goodness, look at Norman now. What a silly slug. The end. I hope you all enjoyed that silly story. What an awesome tale about Norman. So after reading that silly story, what do you think was the author's purpose? Do you think the author was trying to persuade us, inform us, or entertain us? That's right, the author was trying to entertain us. Were your predictions correct? And also, was this text fiction or nonfiction? It was fiction, correct. We know that slugs are not going to go and put donuts on their backs. That is something that could not happen in real life. Hope you all enjoyed. Missing you all. Love, Miss Wood. Hope you guys enjoyed that great book today. Can't wait to hear from you soon. Make sure you're tuning in to our Seesaw page, and make sure that if you would like to send out some fun emails with pictures and videos of all the awesome things you're doing at home. Talk to you soon. Bye.